Nina Protopapa. Welcome to Falcon Media's Student Spotlight. Reagan Nevels isn't a typical high school senior. She is an author and motivational speaker who at the age of 17 has already written 2 books. We are excited to have her here in the studio today to talk about her work. Welcome. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
So can you tell me a little bit about your background and your childhood?
Sure. So as you already forestated, my name is Reagan Nevels. I'm 16 years old, and I travel across the country inspiring anybody of any age that it doesn't matter how young or old you are, as long as you're still living and breathing, you still have the opportunity to achieve your dream reality.
What made you want to become a writer? Like, what kind of experiences in your life or like any people who have inspired you?
Well, both of my parents are self-employed, and so that idea kind of came of entrepreneurship. It kind of came to me, and you know, I've always been a go-getter and didn't really like anybody else to be my boss. I liked to be the boss of myself. And so I got presented with the opportunity to write my first book and have it edited and published for free. And so originally, what's crazy is I wanted it to be a mystery series, but I realized, like, well, you know, backtrack a little bit. I loved A to Z mysteries, love Magic School Bus, all of that jazz. But I realized that I had to go through my 4-step process, which is think, write, believe, and achieve, to be able to achieve that. And so I was like, well, this is something that I feel like needs to be, you need it for any goal that you're trying to achieve, so why don't I write about this? And so I wrote about it, I released it, schools started calling me, schools from around here actually started calling me to come speak. And it was weird because I wasn't a speaker, I was just an author sharing my story, sharing what I think would, you know, help you achieve your goals as well. And so I didn't really take to it at first, but as soon as I got my first opportunity to speak, and as soon as I was speaking and saw the response of the kids in front of me, I was like, oh, this is definitely something I want to continue doing.
Yeah. So what's your writing process like? What's the most like challenging aspect of like writing?
I definitely say being patient, because I am like do it now type of person and get it done. It did only take me maybe about 5 or 6 months to write my first book, and then 3 months after that to write the second one. But I like to get it all out, and so I'm ready to have the final copy instead of actually slowing down and going through the process. So I definitely say, like, keeping an open mind to other people as well that are just giving you constructive criticism, and yeah, slow down and enjoy the process.
So are there like editors you have to go through to like get your book published?
Yeah, so the first one I did through a company called Leadership Develop Me, and so she edited it. I wrote the whole thing, she edited it, gave me some suggestions on, you know, if it was major, some things I wanted to change, and then, you know, I would of course have to approve it. But my second one was self-published, so I went through a company called lulu.com, which I don't recommend now because they actually changed it up a little bit. Another one that's really good is Amazon. Amazon has a great publishing platform thing. But yeah, the editing is kind of crazy.
So do you have a mentor for writing, and like how do you get help besides like your editors?
Absolutely. I definitely always loved English class. So writing, creative writing, especially writing about something that I want to write about and I'm knowledgeable about, is not difficult at all. So the writing aspect isn't all that difficult, but I do have lots of mentors when it comes to speaking. Not motivational speaking, Lisa Nichols, Tony Robbins, and there's a lot of other people, Trent Shelton, that are just amazing speakers. And I not only listen to what they talk about, but how they present themselves, the different ways that they speak that impact the audience, different emotions that they use. So I'm just observant of all of that. And so it doesn't matter really who that person is or what following they have. If I admire them, I admire them.
Right. How did the experience of writing books transfer into motivational speaking?
Well, like I said, I had wrote the book and released it, and a school got a hold of it. I believe it was Williamson Elementary. They got a hold of it, and so they called me. I was 12 years old at the time, and they were like, hey, we would love to have Reagan come and speak and just to share her book, you know, maybe give a motivational message to the kids. And so they called my mom, and they told her that. I was like, I don't know, because, you know, public speaking has been proven to be one of the hardest things that a human being can do, because It's just so nerve-wracking. And so all of that was going through my mind at 12 years old, had all these kids in front of me that I felt like, you know, would be judging what I was doing, especially since it was the first time. And so, you know, I took the opportunity, had my stack of papers, and it didn't really flow as well as I do now. But it was a really good experience. And like I said, from the jump, I loved it and realized that it was a desire and passion of mine. And I just kind of stuck to it.
So do you memorize your speeches beforehand, or do you just have like little note cards you take with you, or like full stacks of like a paper?
Well, I have points. I know
Yeah.
my message. One thing that I think is really important is if you're trying to teach something to people, it's important for you to know it and not just restate it off a piece of paper, because anybody can really do that.
Right.
And so it's a message that I so intuitively believe, and it's in me. It's kind of just easy for me to give off. Now, for me being such a talker and a speaker, I do get off on tangents sometimes. And so I do like have points in my head that I keep, okay, Reagan, come back to the point, or, 3 or 4 points that I know I want to hit, and then an intro and a conclusion, but all in between is kind of just like freelancing.
I got you. How often do you hope your spoken and written words like impact others?
Actually, I've been blessed to have every single time after I've been done, somebody's come and told me, hey, this has impacted me. I'm going to go get my PhD. That's why I say from all age ranges, because I was on a news channel and the anchor told me, hey, I'm going to go back to college and get my PhD. That was so humbling for me, and it was so amazing because I'm like, I intentionally wrote this book for, my peers, my generation, but the fact that this is so applicable to you as well as an adult, an accomplished adult, a news anchor, for you to say you're going to go back to college and get your PhD, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is something, I'm going to stick with this because I'm passionate about it and I'm good at it. And so there are a lot of kids afterwards that come up and tell me, they'll start their YouTube channels. A lot of kids are entrepreneurs nowadays. They make money right off their computer, right at home. And so they're like, I'm going to forget about the bullies, start my YouTube channel, become an artist. And, a lot of people just tell me that they're going to start achieving their dreams and goals, even if they can't actually achieve it as of now, because, some things you do need a college degree before. But my message is that you don't have to wait until that point in your life to be able to start accomplishing those things.
Right. How do you balance your writing with your schoolwork, social life, any other extracurricular activities?
Yes, it's insane. Today is actually the first day where everything kind of kicks in, because after school I have dance until about 8:30 tonight. And so the good thing is, though, I have time in between. I have late arrival and early dismissal, which is good. That was one thing that was kind of difficult for me to balance with school, my social media and stuff, because, everything was back to back. But I do have some time in the morning, and I have maybe about an hour in between to give to that. And then if I want to come home tonight, I usually do it because it's fun for me. It's not something that feels like work. So if I want to sit up in my bed and write something, or if I want to edit a video or something, it's not hard at all.
Yeah. Do you have any other plans for new books?
I do. I'm not sure exactly what direction I want to go in because, like I told you before, I was interested in mysteries, and that has not gone away. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do next, but I do know I'm going to continue with like motivational speaking because I've truly found a niche in that.
But you think you could write a mystery novel in the future?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure.
So high school graduation's right around the corner. Do you have any plans for after graduation?
I do. I know that as of right now, one thing that's kind of like prevented me from really going full force is my adolescence and having to be at school 8 hours a day. So I was thinking maybe doing like college online or part-time or something. That way I'll still have the freedom to be able to travel as I please. But honestly, I'm keeping an open mind. I'm keeping an open mind to going to college, staying in a dorm, or living at home, doing online, or moving. But those all things are just going through my head right now.
Right. Do you have any plans of majors you want to go into?
Yeah, absolutely. Business and communications. That coincides with being a CEO. I want a brand of mine called Dream Your Reality. I'm actually making some merch now, so if you guys want to like cop that, of course. But yeah, I want a brand called Dream Your Reality, and it coincides with my message, and so yeah.
Aw, that's so sweet. You might have to send me some of the merch.
Absolutely.
So that's all we have time for today. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.
in association with Austintown Local Schools and Austintown Township.